Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover some knockoff Micromachines. Yes, there were a lot of knockoffs back in the day. Real Micromachines actually had the, just, you can tell like the stamping and everything was a lot different on them. It's kind of hard to tell when you actually look at these, but you can also tell by the way the wheels were done. They are just different. All around different, and a lot of times these guys here kind of use just a generic wheel versus Micromachines made special rims for every vehicle they had. But these guys are actually very neat. I happen to have had this set when I was a kid, so I played with it all the time. I do know for a fact that this guy's missing a front bumper because he's supposed to have a kind of a brush guard on the front of the truck. But these are the Department of Public Works vehicles. I did like these a lot. They kind of are becoming a little more obscure in this day and age, especially when it comes to trying to find knockoff versions of Micromachines. And I just noticed, I think he's actually missing his front brush guard too, because I think these two actually had those. But there were versions of the Jeep and the truck that did not have those that were in this line. I actually had a few of those as well, because I used to buy Micromachines and I bought the knockoffs, because these guys were, I think, like $1.99 when a pack of actual Micromachines were about around $3.99 or something. It was about a $2 or $3 difference between the two. But whenever you only had pocket money for a toy back then, you tried to get get the bang for your buck. That's what you used to do when you were a kid. So, but anyway, let's take a look at each one of these individually and see what they're about. Starting out with the pickup truck. The pickup truck's pretty neat. It's got this this nice little roll bar here on top, which seems to be a little loose on mine. I don't try to like mess with this too much because brown plastic does not hold up very well throughout the years. So I try to be very delicate with it, especially since this is a KO. It's kind of crazy actually having that still attached. I've seen a lot of these in the past where this has been completely removed because, some people are like, oh, it sticks up too high, I don't like it, so they take it off when they were kids. So, it's a superintendent truck because it's got that written on the side, and the Department of Public Works right there, which would be basically your city construction crew, utility guys that would take care of that kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I do like it. It's got a lot of detail. Not a bad little truck, and it actually kind of looks more like a little Toyota to me. Reminded me a lot of those Toyota Baja trucks back in the day. Just the small ones, the small little I forget what they were called, like Toyota Tacomas. I think they were Tacomas back then. I can't remember. Somebody will correct me in the comments below about that, but that's okay. He is a really neat looking little truck. I do like him a lot. Let's move on to the next. Speaking of trucks, let's take a look at the flat nose dump truck, which actually doesn't dump. It's kind of crazy. I really wish this right here would have dumped back in the day, but it just doesn't. But it's a neat looking little truck. It's got a lot of detail. It's got the Department of Public Works just stamped right there on the sides. So if you guys are actually looking for some of these in the aftermarket, that's kind of something you have to look for. Also, if you look at the way the truck is itself, it's kind of almost a generic, I would say, Isuzu type of truck. It was very Japanese in the style of the vehicle itself. Really didn't hard to like anything US, but that's okay. I do find it kind of cool. It does happen to have little taillights even picked out on it, which is really nice. And it's got this little brown dump thing here, which actually when I was a kid I would use this because I had this, and then I'd use my excavator. And my excavator would be the one that would just come over here and dump the stuff inside the back of the truck. I mean, you can't tell me it doesn't look cool, because it does. But you can even use the loader from the Micromachines as well that would kind of dump in here. I mean, it would be kind of hard for it to do. You have to kind of pick it up or whatever, but hey, it's using your imagination here. So. I do like it. It's a nice little 6-wheeled truck. And let's check out the next one. Next one in line is the Department of Public Works Jeep. I don't really know why they would have a Jeep, considering the superintendent has a truck, but maybe this is the boss. I don't know. It does have Metro there on the front, which maybe this is what this is. Maybe this is an inspection team or something like that that comes in. It does happen to have a couple gas cans that are kind of molded here on this brown piece of plastic that's attached. So sometimes this right here will even be missing too on these, along with this. Like I said, this brown plastic is kind of scary nowadays. Kind of like the gold plastic and all that stuff. I just noticed he's got a little bit of a bent bumper here a little bit, but I'm not going to try to fix that or anything. I'd be afraid that would get broken. Anyway, I do like him. He's got a lot of detail, by the way. Tons of detail. Kind of crazy though is you don't actually see the steering wheel, considering you see everything else on the inside of this. And those aren't actually seats in the back, I don't think. I think those just are little toolboxes, looks like. But yeah, it's neat. I do like it. It's got a lot of detail though. It really does. Would have been neat to see some taillights kind of picked out on him, but he didn't have that. Like I said, most of the time I think these actually do have a brush guard on the front, but I don't remember if this particular one did or not. Kind of hard to tell. I mean, it does have a little bit of a, looks like maybe the remnants of a post there on the front. So maybe he did. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out the other one. Last and definitely not least is the tow truck. Don't ask me why the Department of Works would have a tow truck, but I guess they do. Could be maybe a crane truck as well. This used to have a hook that would hang off of it. This is just a example of one of the ones that actually probably wouldn't survive very well, especially throughout the years. It's actually very surprising that this is still on here, because a lot of kids would take this off and use this as a normal semi-truck, because this piece here actually, I don't know if this is loose enough. I don't think it is. I don't want to force it. But if you can kind of look underneath there a little bit, there is actually a trailer hitch that's underneath this, because this truck was used for many, many, many different iterations. And the cool thing about this truck is this actually has fog lights on the front. That's what those two little black dots are. It is different than the Micromachine truck, because the Micromachine truck actually doesn't have as much chrome picked out like it is on the front of this one. It just looks strikingly different. So this right here may be like a Freightliner, and this is like a Peterbilt. That's where I kind of tell the two apart. I do like the fact that it's actually got the little red lights there picked out on the top, and just the DFW slapped around the side. And if you notice, like I said, all the rims are basically the same on these guys. Really not that big of a difference. These are a little tighter on this because it's supposed to be a semi. But if you notice, they got the same ones that are on the Jeep. So I think they only had like a couple of choices when it came to wheels. Because if you look at the other ones, Galoob, they are different. They're strikingly different. It's a good way to be able to tell whether it's a knockoff or not, because usually the Galoob ones will be a lot more detailed than the knockoffs. So very cool. And do you like it? So overall, I think these guys are really, really amazing. They're a great little addition for you to be able to add to your Micro Machine collection, especially if you're out there jonesing for some more kind of construction fitting vehicles, and ones that will actually kind of fit in with what you guys are out there looking for, especially when it comes to Micro Machines, because Micro Machines are a very, very cool little toy. I do like the fact that they brought some of this stuff back, but some of the stuff they brought back is kind of weird. The wheels are a lot larger and they're nowhere near as small. And there's just some really odd things going on with the current Micro Machines scene, but what they have now, I don't know, it just doesn't resonate like the old ones do. But if you guys are after these, this is some ones to kind of look for. Like I said, I obviously got these because they're yellow and they're construction vehicles, and they'll go along with the actual Micro Machine ones I do have. But that's just me. I just like the construction vehicles in general. Anyway, this has been Plasticon. This is me signing off. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you around. Have play more coming. That's it for now. Bye!